Good morning. This morning we're over in Hebrews 5, and start out. What do you have?
Okay, well, two things struck me. The first thing that struck me was the in verses 7 through 10, where it's talking about how even though he was a son, he learned obedience through what he suffered. And then over toward the end, it talks about how solid food is for the mature and those whose power of discernment is trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil. And I know sometimes I feel like I'm choking on solid food. And I feel like that's kind of where we're moving, that we've moved away from just dealing with milk stuff, but now we're getting the solid food. That sometimes just like a baby kind of gets it wrong. Sometimes I feel like I'm choking on that. And it kind of brings some comfort to me to think that even Jesus, who was perfect, had to learn obedience. Now, he never made a mistake. He never lost his perfection, but he had to develop through that. And if even he had to develop through that and learn obedience through practical things, and he's God's son, of course I'm going to have those nights like last night where I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, and I'm grappling with things from work and things from home and things with the kids, and struggle through that. And that's just kind of comforting to me.
Mm-hmm.
What struck you?
Well, where it's calling for every high priest chosen among the men who's appointed to act upon the behalf of men in relation to God. Those men who do that are called to be set apart, but yet they have to offer up sacrifices for their own sins. It doesn't say they're perfect and they're sinless, but basically he's offering up sacrifices for his own sins and the people. So his responsibility is not only for himself, but also for the people that he is shepherding. And in verse 11, it's talking about basically saying that we have much to say, it's hard to explain since you become dull of hearing. And I wonder where I become dull of hearing at times about not hearing God's word and what I'm supposed to be called to do. It goes right along into that these people are dull of hearing, and they're needing the milk of the message when they should be doling out the meat of it. Basically, the solid foods. Let's grapple with this and chew on it. And
So often I feel like my kids that I have at work, where they don't want to, they can read this book at this level, but they gravitate toward the easy one because it's just so much work. And there's some days they're like, yeah, I'm going to read this book, I can take this on, I can do it. And then other days something has happened in their world, whether it's at home or in their classroom or with a friend or whatever, and then they get to me and they're so rattled by life that they just want it to be easy.
mm-hmm.
You learn so much by watching kids.
Mm-hmm. So those are our thoughts for today. If you have anything, read Hebrews 5 and share it out, write to us, whatever.